Hello friends and welcome back to another gardening video. I keep getting queries like these and also queries about the problems associated with moss rose plants and what to do. So these kind of questions are being asked to me on and off. So I decided to make a video about these stunning moss rose plants. So in this video I'll be sharing with you the various problems and the various diseases associated with these beautiful succulents, and I'm also going to share with you the steps that you need to take whenever you come across these kind of issues with your plants. So this video is going to cover up most of these problems, and especially during the monsoon season and also the coming winter season, moss rose plants get a lot of problems because these are basically sun loving plants and they grow well during the summer season, during the hot dry season. So winters are the time when these purslane and Portulaca plants get a lot of issues. These plants are versatile, they can be created into these beautiful bonsais also, or these can be used in large gardens as an edging or as a ground cover, or even in rock gardens filling up the spaces between the rocks. And these can also be grown in containers. They come in both the single petal and double petal varieties. Whether it is the colorful Portulaca or the purslane plants, both belong to the same family and they need similar kind of care. So I'm going to begin this video answering the first question, which is the white fuzz on top of the Portulaca plants and what it is, whether it is a fungal disease or is it normal. So as far as the fuzzy tips are concerned, first you need to see whether it is a normal white fuzzy tip which forms after flowering, or is it something grayish brownish in color, which might be a fungal disease. The normal white fuzz on the tips are the seed pods, and if there are no buds then they should be pinched off, which will result in further branching of the plant. As you can see over here, branching happens and then you get more flowers. If you leave the white fuzz tips, then the moss rose plant will not give out adequate flowers because it will start forming the seeds. Now if the fuzz on the plants are kind of powdery, or if they are not completely white but if they are like brownish or grayish or yellowish in color like so, then it might be a cause of concern, because these kind of fuzz are a sign of fungal diseases like damping off, etc. And if it appears on very young seedlings, then it is definitely a fungal disease. Like over here you can see the leaves are dehydrated and they are falling off. So over here it is not only a fungal disease but there is also an infestation with mealybugs. So both of these together have caused the plant to become dehydrated, and these mealybugs just suck up the sap of the plant, and the fungal disease also creates a lot of problems. So over here you can see that the plant is dying off. Just touching the leaves is making the leaves fall off. So this is definitely not something that is desired, and if we don't take any treatment then eventually the plant is going to die off. Like you can see over here, the branches are totally brown and dead. Another major problem with these moss rose plants during the rainy season and the winter season are these scale infections or scale infestations. You can see over here there are some things sticking on the branches of the moss rose plant. There is also a little amount of mealybug infection over here, but mainly I am trying to show you the scale infestation. So I am trying to remove it with this thing, but you can see it is so tightly stuck to the branches that it is difficult to remove it. Even with my fingers it is very much difficult to remove it. So these are the small insects that affect the plant, and they appear as raised circular or oval bumps on the plant surface, and they suck the plant sap and cause yellowing of leaves, premature leaf drop and branch dieback. And eventually if we don't take care, then the plants are going to die off. So usually these scale infestations are accompanied by mealybugs also. So over here you can see mealybug attack is also there along with the scale infection, and the mealybug is also very much dangerous. It can just suck up the juice and kill the plant. So let us see the remedy for both of these infections. For mealybug specifically, you can take hand sanitizer and pour a little bit in water. Now hand sanitizer contains alcohol, and so either you can use this or you can also use 70% alcohol, or even neem oil spray can be used. So over here I am using this, and I'm going to put this on the mealybug to show you how it is going to affect the mealybug. And also for the scale infection, you can physically remove those insects with a damp cloth or toothbrush dipped in soapy water or 70% alcohol. So over here on the mealybug, when I'm putting this solution on the mealybug, you can see that the top waxy layer has dissolved, and now the mealybug is going to die out. It is getting removed easily. So similarly, the scale insects also can be killed off. Pruning is also an option if there's a lot of infection. Now coming to the next problem, small or less flowers blooming. So over here you can see different sizes of flowers. Now this happens if you are allowing a lot of seed pods to form. So removing off the seed pods is really essential. If you want seeds, just leave 1 or 2 seed pod and remove off all the seed pods. Otherwise the plant is going to spend all its energy on making seeds and it's not going to give any more bloom. So remove off the spent flowers immediately, and don't allow a lot of seed pods to form if you want to have abundant blooms and if you want to get a lot of buds in your moss rose plant. Like over here you can see, removing off the flowers and seed pods will allow the moss rose to bloom abundantly. The next issue is the plants dying out from the root till the tip, and this is one major problem especially during the monsoon seasons and the winter season. So in this plant, the disease damping off, which is a fungal disease, and it's kind of a mold which is there on the soil surface, and it causes the stem of the plant to shrink and turn black or brown, and finally the plant dies off. If the soil is too wet or poorly drained, then these diseases are increased, especially during the monsoon season, etc., and the branches will just fall off. Like you can see over here, they just rot off, and this happens. So the best way to treat this disease is make sure that the soil of the plant is a well draining soil, otherwise this is what is going to happen. And also you should keep on removing the flower heads, because the fungus can even start on the flower heads and spread to the plant during the monsoon season. So it is best to remove off any dead flowers and even the dead branches, etc., so that these kind of fungal diseases do not start happening in the plant. And you can also remove off the fuzzy tips if you want more flowering in the plants. So this is one really important tip, especially during the monsoon seasons, to remove off the flower heads. Sometimes these kind of yellowish white spots can be seen on the plant's leaves and stems. It is also a kind of a fungal disease which causes yellowing of the leaves and finally withering of the plant, because the fungus takes away all the nutrients from the plant. So if you want a healthy plant, then make sure that there is adequate air circulation, sunlight, and remove off the infected parts. If you want healthy plants like these, which are nice and green in color, and if you want that each plant tip has multiple buds so that you get a lot of flowering, then there are some essential steps that you need to take. And these are that: make sure there is increased air circulation and sunlight, and also every week, especially during the time when the plant is infected, take around 3 to 4 milliliter of neem oil and in 1 liter of water, and add a little bit of soap, and then make a solution and spray this solution to your moss rose plants. You can do this once a week if you want, or you can do it once in 15 days. If there is active infection, then you have to repeat this a little bit, like within 3 to 4 days again you have to repeat the treatment, and this you have to spray on the plant. Now spraying this will keep the fungus away from your plants and also other kind of infections. And another thing that you have to make sure is that during the monsoons and the winter season, the soil must not be soggy. Make sure to water the plant only when the soil becomes dry. Make sure there's adequate air circulation and adequate sunlight. And I hope you found these tips useful, and thanks for watching.